should say on there. Okay, it's live now.
What's up, everybody? Tony Campier here. Admin Life family. We got Larry, Carla, Katie, Marcin, Vaughn, and Big Will.
Small Will.
What's that?
I said small Will.
So this is the episode 0 of the Barbell Life podcast. Something we're going to start doing, hopefully on a weekly basis. So I hope you enjoy. First off, I'm going to go around the room and all the admins. So let's start with Carla.
Carla, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Oh, hey guys, what's up?
All right. And now Katie.
Who was that? I didn't catch that. Who are you introducing?
Next, we'll go to Katie.
Hi, what's up?
And Marcin.
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
And Big Vaughn.
Hello.
And Will. What's that?
Gotta unmute yourself, Will.
Say hi to the fam, Will.
You, Breton, brother.
All right.
All right, we're
All right,
gonna
we're gonna pass on that.
we're gonna get back to Will. He's having technical difficulties. And last but not least, the guru, Larry.
What's up, everybody?
All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. Our first topic we're gonna talk about is we're gonna go around the room and we're gonna ask everybody how they got into this lifestyle. And what I mean by lifestyle is obviously the barbell life, lifting weights, trying to improve your diet, everything that's encompassed in that. And I'll go first. So let me see. Back in 2003, I got out of a really bad relationship, and I was really stressed out. I was really depressed, lonely, all that stuff. And so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna start working out, get buff, and got in the gym. Had no clue what I was doing, but I just went in there and started lifting weights. And best therapy I could ever. My ex over here gave me more confidence because started seeing changes in my body, started feeling good about myself again. And the rest of history, I was hooked. With that, Carla, how did you get into the barbell lifestyle?
Larry, you gotta stop typing.
Oh, my bad. Hold on.
Carla, yeah, you're still muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, so when I came here from Jamaica, I was so skinny. I was like 115 pounds. So I decided when I came to America, the first thing I want to do is gain weight. So I started eating everything. And then I looked like a clown. And then I decided to start working out. And I didn't know anything about anything. So I joined the Bally's and I just winged it, just did whatever I saw other people do. About 4 years ago, 8 years ago, I had a tragedy. And 4 years after that, I joined a CrossFit gym. And it really helped me to, I don't know, it was sort of therapy for me. You know, I did some impossible things, well, things I thought was impossible. I accomplished a lot in lifting that I just didn't think I could ever do. And so it helped me, whatever I accomplished physically, it helped me emotionally and mentally to know that whatever happened in my life, I can get through it and I can overcome it. And being at the CrossFit gym, I got introduced to other things, powerlifting, um, Olympic lifting, and then finally I got attracted to the strongman, which I really am absolutely passionate about. And so the more that I do it and keep myself busy, the more, I should say, the lift in life, I can never be done with it. I always have something to work towards. I always have another goal, something that I want to accomplish. And so my mind is always occupied with what I'm going to accomplish next. And this actually is just my way of getting through the lifting life and regular life. It's just overcoming, accomplishing, just climbing every mountain that comes my way, whether it's physical or other, and I'll never give up on it. It's priceless to me, and that's it.
That's an awesome story. How long have you been working out again?
I've been working out for about, I would say about 12 years.
Okay.
4 years really seriously, and then about a year and a half into strongman.
Yeah, you sound like me. I've been working out since 15 years, but I've only seriously been working out maybe 2 years. I like to say I've been working out 15 years, but I've been training 2 years. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Katie, tell us how you got into this lifestyle?
Well, it started, I would say, after I got out of a really abusive relationship, and it was my way of managing, I guess, my anxiety, because I was suffering from anorexia at the time, because he was very strict about, what I could eat, what I couldn't eat, and everything, and he liked to keep me weak, so basically he could control me better. And so from there, I started lifting and working out more, and I wanted to join the military so I could create myself into somebody that he said I never would be. And I got injured actually shortly after I joined the military, and I ended up in a wheelchair. And my physical therapist that I had at Shepherd, all the doctors told me, basically you're screwed, you're getting kicked out, you're not going to recover enough. But my physical therapist, he was this 80-year-old dude, and he was just the most encouraging guy. And he helped me get into the gym and get into water therapy. And from there, I got out of the wheelchair and into the crutches, and I started working out. And when I got to my base, I was a helicopter maintainer. And you really can't be a helicopter maintainer female who can't lift or toolbox or any of that. So I basically, from there, had to lift even more and get stronger, and it kind of more so became I guess an addiction to get better and better.
Nice. And how long ago was this?
I would say seriously, it was probably 5 years ago when I, right after my injury, and even more hardcore 3 years ago. But it got out of the relationship in freshman year of high school was when it started. So it ended junior year. So 7, maybe 9 years.
Oh wow, okay. And so you're saying as you worked out, well, back up. So you were saying you basically need to be strong in order to do the job, the toolboxes and the tools and all that stuff. Did you feel like as you started training more that your job got a little easier because of that? You get stronger?
I would say that you definitely get more respect when you're able to like do what you need to do. So for instance, I definitely knocked over a toolbox before, and they're really big toolboxes. Like they're this high and they're full of tools, and I had to lift that by myself and get that off the ground because I was the only one out in the flight line. And being able to do that, it was like, yeah, I did that because like there's always like jokes about, oh, female maintainer, she can't even carry the toolbox, and the carry toolbox is like this big. So, being able to do that was like, what, fuck your stereotypes. I did my job.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. Next, I'm going to go to Marcin. Let us know how you got into this lifestyle, Marcin.
What's going on, guys? So basically, I mean, I used to always play sports. So like in high school, I was playing basketball, a little bit of football. So I've always been around the weight room for the most part, you know. And then I want to say, once I got out of high school, I just kind of like stopped doing all that. I had a gym membership. I'd go here and there, but nothing like too crazy. Then I got into like your college days where you're out drinking and stuff. Just totally got kind of out of shape and kind of got back in the gym, but really didn't know what I was doing. I want to say, like, I'm no lie, I would go to the gym and do like every day would be like arm day or something like that. Well, I was one of those guys. And I want to say the last maybe 3 years or so, I've been in the BBL for at least, I want to say almost a year and a half or so, maybe more. I don't know, but I learned a lot from the page actually. And now being serious about it, I want to say the last 2 years, like I know what I'm doing for the most part. I know what I have to eat. So it wasn't anything like crazy, no kind of like crazy relationship thing. I mean, obviously everybody's gone through breakups, so obviously, yeah, lifting helps that. But on and off has just been in my life. I just didn't really know what I was doing, I want to say, up until probably once I started joining here and researching more and stuff like that. That's why I love the BBL so much. I would probably be never doing leg day, if it wasn't for the BBL or push-ups.
Push-ups, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's basically it, Just kind of, I've been around it because I've always been into sports and playing sports. Like I play hockey, and you see the sticks, basketball, football here and there. So I've been kind of around it. I want to say the last few years have been serious about it,
So after school, you kind of lost that opportunity to compete, and the gym basically gave you a new outlet to, channel your athleticism and,
exactly.
off and keep it going. Nice, yeah. Man. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, man. Can you tell us your story behind how you got into this lifestyle?
Who are you talking about, Will?
Vaughn.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't know what was going on there. I couldn't hear what name you said. About 3 years ago, my son started wrestling, and I'd have to practice with him and show him the moves to get him ready for his first tournament. It was a pretty big tournament in Mid-Atlantic. He didn't know too much, and I wrestled a little bit in high school, but haven't wrestled since then. So I would just roll around with him, and as the time went on, he got better and better. And I really needed to almost kind of keep up with him because there was times where he would get some points on me. Work definitely played a part in me getting into the lifestyle. Delivering furniture is not an easy job. It takes a special kind of person to do it. And to be honest with you, the big guys that come in don't last at all. Because there's a lot of things other than moving the furniture that you need to do the job, like getting up and down in the truck constantly, every stop, sometimes 13 to 16 stops. And if you're a big guy carrying big furniture, walking down thin hallways, it's kind of hard to maneuver without damaging either the furniture or the walls. But anyway, I noticed about 6 months into the job, the furniture was starting to get really heavy for whatever reason, and I needed to make something happen on that end besides helping Devon, trying to keep up with him in wrestling. So I ended up getting into the gym. About 3 years ago, I was doing 3 days a week, full body. Wasn't really getting anywhere. So I started doing some research and clicking like on Facebook, on this page and that page and everything else. And then a Barbell life came up. I clicked like on that, got accepted by, I believe, either Tony or Mike, and kind of laid low for a little bit. I liked what I saw, and I honestly don't think I would still be lifting today if it wasn't for the Barbell Life Human Focus, because a lot of the members are extremely motivational. But I'd say within the last 2 years, I started taking it seriously. Within the last 3 or 4 months, I started doing my splits and taking different supplements to help me out with gaining weight and gaining muscle, and that's about it.
Cool stuff. Saying that you have a hard time as agile, all that stuff.
I couldn't hear you.
You're saying the bigger guys, they have a harder time because they're not as agile and their endurance isn't as good as, say, the smaller guys? Can you hear me?
Well, I wouldn't say that much. I mean, I've seen big guys be successful, but it's a lot harder for the big guys to move because it's just not what they expected. They think just because they're big and strong that they can really keep up with the pace and throw the furniture around, but it's not necessarily about you being the strongest guy out there and throwing a dresser through the roof of a house. You got to be kind of careful and kind of graceful while you're walking through there, because not only the customer paid a lot for their house, they paid a lot for their furniture too. So it's not really something you could just go in there and just because you can lift it and throw it down a football field doesn't mean you can really take the time and be gentle enough to actually carry it up and down the steps and be able to take the steps sometimes with obstacles in the way and getting over them and everything else while you're carrying the furniture.
Yeah, one thing I notice whenever I'm moving or helping somebody move is, lifting a certain amount of weight is fine and dandy, but, there's not handles on this furniture, on couches and stuff like that. You have to get a grip somehow and manage to keep it in your hands, and a lot of stuff is awkward shaped and pain in the ass, man. But much power to you. Thanks for sharing that, bro. Next up, Big Will. Share us your story and how you got into this lifestyle. You're on mute. Unmute your microphone.
I think Will froze again.
Well, you still muted. You got to look at your phone and unmute, buddy. You got to click the mute button on from Will at the moment.
Technical difficulties.
His face hasn't moved in a while. I think he froze.
Well, I see him moving right now, so
Yeah, I see him, bro.
well, try to figure out your microphone situation, and we'll come back to you. All right? Let us know when you're good. In the meantime, I'm gonna go to Larry. Larry, could you share your story on how you got into this lifestyle?
I got into I've been around weights and been athletic mainly in high school. I used to run track, play basketball, that type of thing, and lift weights here and there. Uh, I lift weights early on in the military, and then as I got more into my career, doing network administrating and software engineering, I just kind of didn't have time for that. It was more time for studying. So I spent the majority of my time studying, and I had taken off for a few years. That was when I saw Tony back in the gym again. We used to live near each other. We kind of grew up near each other. So around the time where I was stopping, Tony was like getting back into it. Uh, he had the gym shirts at that time, and he would come around, and I see him on base, and he'd be like hardcore lifting and getting in. And I kind of took off for that time and kind of just more focused on life in general, my career. And then uh, uh, I had my daughter, and around having my daughter, I noticed that I wasn't feeling too good. I was feeling tired, feeling weak, and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know what's up. Uh, I'm like urinating frequently. So if any of you guys know that, diabetes for me. So I go into the doctor. They go, hey, you're diabetic, and they go, you want to check out your workout program. So then that's when I started working out and getting back to the gym because I realized I had slacked off a little too long and waited a little too late there. But as far as that goes, I'll let Tony go from here and tell, and then we can jump back in and how we came together with the Barbell Life.
All right, so good segue, by the way. I was kind of doing my own thing. Been in the Air Force at that time. I want to say 7, 8 years. They started doing these cuts, and I was on the chopping block, so I was freaking out because I just planned on doing 20 years in the Air Force. And anyway, so that kind of got me thinking of things to do outside the Air Force if I'm get booted. And this was my passion. So I obviously wanted to do something in the field. So I just started thinking of things I could do. I was thinking, I'll start being a personal trainer. Uh, and then hopefully one day I can open a gym. And at that same time, Barbell Life, I think we could reach maybe 2,000 people. So it was kind of picking up. Um, I had added Larry maybe a year prior and made him an admin. And he approached me and he said he had just got back from a convention or something, no, a seminar about building brands. And in the seminar, basically they said something about find a niche, find something that you can build off of, find something that has a following, that find something that people are passionate about. And I guess he said he thought of me and the Barbell Life because he sees my posts and he saw how the group was growing and things like that. So he approached me and he said, we got something big here. We should definitely do something with it. And a lot of you guys don't know Larry, but the ones that do, he's a genius. I say it all the time. Larry's like the next Bill Gates, the next Steve Jobs. He's one of those great minds that comes along every blue moon. But anyway, so since then, the Barbell Life has skyrocketed, catapulted. We're almost 19,000 now. I don't want to throw any spoilers out there, but we have something really big coming up. I want to say probably in the next month to 6 weeks. Huge. Other than that, we've been doing the shirts, working on the brands for the Barbell Life, the Bar Beast brand. I could go on and on all the things that we're going to be doing with this. But yeah, it all stemmed from that one little conversation before teaming up with Larry. We were just a little group that I like to post in and have fun in, but now it's a serious thing, and we've turned this group into a brand, and this brand is going to turn into an empire, and it's a family full of nothing but awesome people that we want to, you know, expose and get out there and make into something great. So, but back to you, Larry. If you want to elaborate a little more on what it is you learned in that seminar and what brought you my way.
Okay, so when Tony originally created the group, I think I was like the 10th or he added or something like that. I think it was after you got hurt you created the group, Tony.
Are you asking me how the group came about? Because that's a whole another.
Yeah, yeah. I think you got hurt or something and you created the group.
All right.
And then,
well, go ahead.
So Tony added me like about a day or two after he created the group, and then at that time, you know, I was in the group, but I didn't do anything with the group. I was kind of like in the background, and you know, Tony would post in there. I would like his post to support, but that was kind of about it, really. And then what happened was, as I told you guys, I'm a software engineer, and I got invited to a conference on marketing and different things. So I went to this conference in DC, and it gave me an idea. It gave me an idea of what if I can take this concept of marketing and bring it back to my friends and help them be successful. So, you know, I reached out to Tony, and I was talking with Tony about it, and he's like, dude, I'd never do that. I'm not a computer guy. And I'm like, okay, you're right. And so I was like, well, how can I readjust this to work so that I can help, you know, more people, reach more people and be successful? Because for me, the technology is easy. I do it every day. So it was like, hey, you know, reach out to Tony, let's do this. And then the idea born, you know, the Barbell Life, it had around this time, it had about 200 members or so. And I was like, you know, Tony, we can, you know, do this whole thing with fitness. Tony started telling me his ideas of what he had in mind to, you know, do fitness. And then we just kind of elaborated on that whole thing more and just came up with something bigger. And since that time, we've been fortunate to have all of the admin that you guys see in the group. The admin come in the group and help us all out. And as we've grown, you know, 1,000 members here and 1,000 members, we've brought on everybody that you see as admin. There's a few admin that you guys don't see here. TJ, he does a lot of the various different designs and posts, and he helps out in the group tremendously. You guys see the admin here, Bong, which, you know, has been around for quite a while, and he helps, you know, in the group also. You have Marcin, who's, you know, one of the top influencers of the group, where he's constantly on post. If you don't know Marcin, then you haven't been in the group. And he's always helps out like that. Will, who had to drop off technical difficulties. We picked up Will not too long ago, just before Katie, and he's been a tremendous help. He really, you know, loves fitness and gets out there and tries to help members. Then we have Carla, and everybody knows Carla. I mean, our Jamaican queen there. She just tears it up for everybody in there. Hard lifts, just tearing it up. And when we worked out with her, same thing. You know, just 100%, just go get it. So, you know, you know all of those. Some of our beginning admin and everything like that. Charles was one of the original. Sam was one of the original that was there. Nicholas was one of the original admin that was there too. And those guys have just helped out throughout the years and have, you know, continuously decided to, you know, help and do that type of thing. You guys know Mike. Mike's, you know, another big lifter and so forth. And he's been one of the people who have helped out throughout the years. And I think Marcin just like fell or something. I don't know what happened to him. You alive over there, Marcin?
Yeah. I'm just following.
More technical difficulties now.
Yeah, you got my daughters in here.
We definitely got a great team. Um, we've kind of stopped at an admin because I feel like we have perfect mesh amount of uh, our team's strong enough to where we don't need to add anybody at the moment, and everybody adds, whether it's, you know, we got the guys who are investigating what's going on, we got the peacemakers, we got the guys who are answering questions, motivate people. Um, we got the tough guys who just go hard on people. They're not acting right. Give us back in controls. You name it. We got everything. Um, but trying to think something to seg. Any suggestions, guys?
Yeah, I think I'll touch base on some of the things that's been going on in the group lately. One of the concerns in the group lately is they say, we just boot people, or we're not, we just delete posts, or we're not listening to people, or abusing admin privileges, or something like that. And that's absolutely not the case. One of the things that these guys will tell you is they'll tell you that, from the beginning, we've always tried to be definitely fair for everybody in the group because it isn't about our ego or about helping people. And so the reason why we have so many different admin is because they bring different personality and different perspective to uh, to how we do things in the group. So when we look at posts, we have a guideline and so forth. And then to also help the admin out, they also report when a member is banned, booted, or whatever, and what the reason was for it. Um, so the admin definitely check in with everybody, and there's accountability there. And one of the things, is a lot of times people will say, "Oh, I got booted from the Barbell Life," or "Oh, they deleted our post." But what they don't tell you is it was a nude image, and the admin was on their job and deleted it right away and warned the person. Or the person was putting someone down in the forum and was repeatedly warned and booted for those types of reasons, or just straight out trolling or spamming and so forth. Tony, you can elaborate more.
Um, yeah, you can't make everybody happy. We have our rules in place, and you know, our admin, they know them like the back of their hand. And when someone, violates the community standards, one thing about people saying that we're not fair, that's totally not true. Because just about every time the admin get together and they vote what to do, um, typically everyone gets one chance. That's our thing. You get one chance. So you can mess up once, and then after that, though, now there's certain situations where someone's posting spam, or someone's just blatantly disrespectful or harassing, or like Larry said, a nude image, or you know things that are just off, like out of line. We don't even bother with the one warning. We'll just boot you. And I mean, that's rare. We rarely do that. For the most part, it's new people that come to the group that don't take the time to check the rules or even know that there's rules there. And one of the things I love about the group is a lot of the members, um, they self-regulate. Well, not self, but they regulate these guys, telling them, hey, back off, or they'll tag us and let us know. But a lot of the time, they'll be the ones to tell them, hey, they don't play that here. That's not how we roll. And so I love you guys for that. But yeah, I posted something the other day about the admin and just letting you guys know they work hard. I mean, the Barbell Life is constantly being watched 24/7. There's not a moment that there's not an admin on the clock, and they work hard. And you guys got to remember, these guys aren't getting paid. You know, all this we're doing is for free. So when you're giving the guys a hard time, these guys have personal lives as well. They don't have to be sitting there on Facebook, you know, checking posts and, you know, babysitting sometimes because there's a lot of people that, you know, don't know how to act right, and that's why they end up in the troll hole. But anyways, anybody got any topics they want to cover?
There's a couple topics. One of the topics that people want to cover is people want to know when should they take their protein. And I'll let you guys each go around the room, and I guess we can start with Carla about that.
Okay, so I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to that kind of stuff. I just know how to lift heavy, awkward things. But what I do is I take a scoop of protein with every one of my meals. So I take in about 145 grams a day. And I try to do a scoop after my workout. So I just keep it basic and simple. I don't really take any pre-workouts either. I just drink coffee and have a banana in the morning. But on a Saturday when I do strongman, which is really heavy training, and I'm usually there for about 3.5 hours, Marcin advised me to do oatmeal yesterday, which really helped a lot. And I had a banana in between. So I just keep it simple. I don't really know any other way. So that's all I have to say about that.
I like how you put that. You just lift heavy things. That's kind of how I am too. Like I know a few things. I've done a lot of research. I got a certification in sports nutrition, but I mean, you can only learn so much by reading a book or you know, regurgitating something on a paper. A lot of my stuff is just trial and error. But like you, Carla, I like the coffee. I mean, I'll take pre-workout when I'm on the run or something. I gotta hurry. But for the most part, I like to do the espresso. Um, it's called a percolator. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like the little thing you put on top of the stove, yeah, and you put the coffee grinds inside, put the water underneath, let it boil over, and it's about this much. Well, that's not very good online, but it's a decent amount of straight espresso. And what I do when it comes to the protein is I mix a protein with water, and then once the espresso is ready, I pour it in my protein, and then I add a spoonful of coconut oil. And basically, this is giving me some protein before my workout. This is giving me energy to go get my ass up and go to the gym and, you know, sustain, and also healthy fats, which are also good for energy and actually burning fat. So it's kind of my little concoction that it works wonders. I mean, when need be, I'll take my protein or my pre-workout, but and then afterwards I'll take another protein post-workout. And like Carla said, I also try to get like some carbs in there, so I'll eat a little banana or like a little Lara bar or something like that. And then throughout the day, I eat enough protein to where I know I'm getting what I need. Now, if I'm prepping for a show or something, then I'm actually paying attention to all the protein that I'm putting in my body. But for the most part, I just make sure I'm eating. I like meat, so I'm eating plenty of protein. I know that for a fact. What about you, Katie?
Usually for me, I just make sure I hit my macro, and then after a workout, I'll go have like a protein shake like immediately afterwards. But that's partially because like I really easily like drop my blood sugar after a workout, so I'm always like shaking. And so I usually try to get like my blood sugar back up and get the protein in at the same time. And I noticed that it helps definitely with my recovery better if I get protein in right after my workout. Because the days that I don't, I feel like I have worse DOMs. And I don't know if that's just like a personal thing or what, but that's usually how it works for me. Other than that, I don't. As long as I hit my total for the day, I'm happy.
You're good, right? Yeah, it's a lot of it's just listening to your body. I mean, like you're saying, if you feel like you're recovering faster and stuff, and you can feel the difference, then go with that. But like you said, you're hitting your macros and you're hitting your necessary requirements, so that's good. What about you, Vaughn? What's your protein uh, approach?
Well, I can't really say when the best time for anybody else to take their protein is, but on days like today where I'm not working, I'll have 3 shakes, and also, try to eat as much as I can. With work being on the road, it's kind of hard to do the food prep thing. My diet is definitely something I need to work on. That's probably it. Besides, upping the weight in the gym and focusing more on my goals, but the diet is something that is poor for me right now. But when I spoke to my personal trainer about a year ago, he said something about I was at 6%. He made me take it the second time because he couldn't believe the first time, and I came back at 6% again. So he kind of advised me that I should definitely watch what I eat to accomplish my goals, but it's not something I really need to be worried about as far as blood pressure and cholesterol and all that stuff. I was in pretty good shape. But I take like today, since I'm off, I'll have 3 shakes, and with my meals, I eat a ton. A few of the Barbell Life members can tell you that I work with. A friend of mine that I was working with the other day was counting my calories for me because I told him it's not something I really do. And I think he had me at like 3,200 calories by 2 o'clock.
Jeez.
But while I'm working, on my work days, I take a shake in the morning and then a shake after the gym. So that's pretty much how it goes for me. Besides the meals, anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty standard before and after. A lot of people, well, not a lot, but people argue not to take it before because it'll kind of like leave you gassy in the gym, kind of mess with your stomach, all that. Personally, I don't have that issue, and I've read plenty that says it's good to have protein in your system while you're working out. Um, but it's all dependent on the person, honestly. And like Vaughn said, we're not going to sit here and tell someone how to take the protein or when to take it. Um, Thanks for sharing that. Marcin, you want to tell us your approach?
Uh, well, my approach is more real food all the time, but I usually just do one protein shake. It's usually after I work out, and that's typically because I usually work out before I have to be at work, so it's basically I just take it right after, and that's basically just to hold me over till I get real food. I try to get all my protein from real food. So
So
that's
eating
kind of
a lot of
what's
flesh, huh?
what's up.
You're eating a lot of flesh.
A lot of flesh, yeah. So I'm trying to get it from like real food. So I mean, typically I'm only usually doing one protein shake right after work, after I work out. Sometimes if I'm low on my macros, because I've been trying to actually hit all my macros all the time, getting my proteins, my fats, my carbs. So I mean, I'm getting more into that whole diet side of working out right now, and everybody says it's just a supplement, so just to use it if you really need to use it. That's kind of how that's been my approach. And one other thing is I used to use Gold Standard, and that made my stomach twist and turn. That's why since I've been switched over to Rule 1 because it's got a lactose in it, and that's helped out a lot. I'll tell you that. Like, so like if anybody's out there, that kind of problem, because I know I posted it on the page once, and there's been a few. But
What was it called again?
Rule 1,
Rule 1?
yeah,
Okay.
it's lactose free, sugar free, a couple other things. It's
Yeah, a
pretty
lot
good.
of
It's really tasty too. Huh?
There's a lot of options out there. Like you said, the lactose-free, sugar-free, non-GMO, organic, vegan, plant-based, stuff like that. So, but you had said something earlier about, you get most of your protein through food, and a lot of people think you have to take protein shakes. You don't. Protein, it's a replacement. So if you're not getting the amount of protein that you need daily, then that's what it's there for, to help you hit that goal, or um, meal replacement, things like that. But for me, I mean, it's perfect because, like I said, I take it before I go, and then after I'm done, I knock one back, and then I can go focus on other things before I eat. So if it wasn't for protein shakes, I'd probably go hours till I finally got some protein in me. And even then, when I was actually counting my macros for my show, I was surprised at how easy it is to not hit your protein. But just adding a couple of protein shakes a day usually gave me what I needed. So, yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, Marcin.
I was gonna
Uh,
say there's people out there that will just literally drink 3 protein shakes a day and maybe have one meal. Been people on the group that's told me that. So like to me, it's just like, yeah, get your
yeah,
protein food, you
that's
know?
sketchy. Yeah, that's sketchy because you're not getting your micronutrients,
No.
you're getting your vitamins, all that good stuff. Um, but yeah, to each his own. I mean, eventually you'll see that you need food. You can't just live off of powders. But
Exactly.
Larry, let's what's your approach? And I'll be right back.
So my approach is more in the morning before working out is when I take my protein shake. I do it with I mix it with raw eggs, and I go in the morning before the gym and do that. Otherwise, I just stick to eating my normal food and so forth, and getting it that way. Um, that's more or less how I do it. Other questions for you guys, and we'll start with Carla again, is how do you make sure that you are drinking the amount of water that you need per day?
The only way that I can drink enough water is if I put the fruit punch BCAA in there. And even with that, I have to force myself. I have to, uh, at my office, I keep my water bottle in the freezer with all the cold packs. So whenever I go to get one for a patient, I drink a gulp of water. It's the only way, and I'm still not finishing a gallon a day. Um, but it's better than how I used to be because I used to drink maybe I'm ashamed to say I can't even say, but it's better. I'm working on it.
Okay, can
I so for a long time I'd be lucky if I drank like a small bottle of water in 2 days. But I had to download an app that like yells at me, especially now that I'm pregnant, because you have to drink a lot of water while you're pregnant. And yeah, I definitely have to use that app, or else I'll just be like, I drank one bottle, I'm good, and then I'll forget for the rest of the day.
One of the things that helps me is I try to drink a gallon a day, and for two reasons. One, it's a shit ton of water. Two, actually carrying a gallon around with me, or putting it in a container that can hold a gallon, it helps me stay accountable throughout the day. So say it's noon and I look at my water and I've barely put a dent in it, that tells me, hey, I need to step it up. I need to start drinking more. I'm falling behind. So my goal is by the end of the day to finish that whole gallon, and I typically do all right with that. And that way I know I'm getting all the water I need, and I'm staying on pace throughout the day. But when I don't drink my gallon, I can tell. I feel sluggish. Um, Even like I have other issues, like sometimes I'll get a headache. Um, I feel dehydrated. My mouth's dry. All kinds of stuff. There's a ton of issues. So drinking a gallon is perfect for me. But um, they typically say, shoot, what is it? I can't quote the amount per day per body weight or whatever, but I'd say everyone try a gallon. I know people that do like 3 gallons a day, 2 gallons a day, which to me is insane. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, that's how I stay accountable.
All right, we're gonna move on next to Marcin.
Oh,
and
you
then
know,
Bone.
I drink a couple gallons usually, at least one. But like I said, like Carla, the BCAAs that helps me out. Definitely drinking those. I mean, there's protein in that too, so you're always getting protein when you're drinking water. That's the way I look at it too. But it, at first it's a struggle, but like carrying the jug around, that's what helps. I mean, you'll get questioned. Oh, what are you drinking? Antifreeze? I get that all the time, but that's just because whatever fruit punch or whatever. That's people think that it's something else, but it keeps me accountable too, just like Tony said. Just carrying that jug around. It's hard at first, but you'll get used to it. Then you'll feel a difference when you don't drink it. It's very true. Oh, that's all
Who's
I got.
next?
Okay, Vaughn's up.
Um, I'm not gonna carry around a gallon of water like a lot of other people. I'm too lazy for all that. I actually downloaded an app called Water Your Body or Water My Body or something like that. And it has an alarm that goes off and lets you know when you should drink your water, and you can set the amount of water for the reminder. So right now, currently, I think it's at 8 ounces, either 6 or 8 ounces. I'm pretty sure it's 8. The alarm will go off when it's time for me to drink my 8 ounces, and it divides it throughout the day between the times I have it set for. I have it set for 9 a.m. to start and 10 p.m. to finish. So every time it calculates when I should drink my 8 ounces of water, and an alarm will go off and notify me. There's times while I'm working, especially if I'm, dealing with a customer at the time, it'll go off and I won't get the notification until I get back in the truck, or it would have went off 2 or 3 times by the time I actually look, and then it'll also show me how much I'm behind, how much I need to drink to keep up. And that's pretty much it. Before I downloaded that app, I never paid attention to how much water I drank, and there's a major difference for sure. There's no question about it.
And what is this app called again?
It's either Water Your Body or Water My Body, something like that. It asks you a few personal questions about your height and your weight, your physical daily activity, and then it'll go from there.
All right, you heard it. Water yourself.
Water yourself.
Free advertising. All right.
Water yourself.
Your approach. I know this one.
For me, Tony would get at me and be like, dude, you need to be carrying around a gallon. I think I used to drink like maybe 32 ounces a day. Well, I fill it up maybe twice or so and drink it. And Tony's like, what the hell is that, man? Where's your gallon at? And I'm like, he bring around the milk jug gallon. I'm like, this is Arizona. It's 110 out. There's no how I'm drinking that hot water. I need something cold. So I went out and got these thermal, these big still, just 64 ounce jugs. I'll show them at some point, but they basically keep your water cool all day long. So if it's 110 out, you got cold water. So that's the only way that I'm drinking. I have 2 of those to give me a gallon, and that's pretty much how I drink my gallon. I just sip on it throughout the day, and if I'm close to the end of the day or whatever, I'll take it out. Generally, I take out the first 64 ounces right when I'm working out in the morning. So that's pretty much it. I know we're going to wrap up, so I'll give it back to Tony to go ahead and wrap it up.
well, before we wrap up, Larry's approach, the thermal water thermos or whatever you want to call it, is actually a really good product. I know a lot of people that won't drink warm water. Me, I don't mind. I prefer cold because, little tip, drinking cold water increases your metabolism. Your body basically has to warm it up in order to process it. So you're burning calories by drinking cold water. A little tip. But
8 calories.
there you go. So yeah, we're gonna try to wrap this up now. It's been a little over an hour. We really appreciate you guys coming out and checking out the show. Excuse some of our issues we had today. It's our inaugural podcast, so you know, I think we did pretty good for our very first one. So one last time, I'll go around the room and let everybody say whatever they want to say goodbye, throw whatever you want to throw out there, and then we'll wrap it up. You can go ahead and start, Carla.
Okay, one love, Mons. I see you on the BBL.
All right, and Katie, what you got?
Just keep it positive and support one another like you always do.
I love it. Marcin?
Drink that water, guys, and I'll see you guys on some posts in a little bit. And I hope you guys understand sometimes when we delete stuff or boot people, we're just trying to keep the whole page positive and keep trucking forward instead of moving backwards. So, everybody keep lifting and keep it positive. See you guys.
Preach. Big Von, what you got?
Nothing. I appreciate the opportunity to do this. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully there'll be more. And just remember that as much as everyone says that we motivate them and we keep them going, they need to know that they motivate me as well. So I appreciate it.
Touche. Larry, what you got for the guys?
You guys definitely motivate me all the time. When I see people lifting hard and the posts keep coming, I'm definitely thankful that, I talked to Tony that one day. So that's been important. And thank you guys for all of the support, the shirts, definitely the posting, the showing each other love, the helping out in the group. I mean, that means a lot. When you sit here and you spend all day, like, am I making a difference? And it really shows. So thank you guys.
All right, well, you heard it here. Appreciate everyone chiming in. I appreciate all of our guests. Like I said, this is the very first Barbell Life podcast, and we're definitely going to have many more to come. Just like anything, you start off slow, you kind of work out the kinks, and we're barbarians and Barbies. We're all about getting better and improving, and this is no different. We're going to bring you an excellent show. It's going to keep getting better. We're going to eventually have all our admin come on. Not everybody can be on at the same time, obviously, but we want to do our best to get the admin on as much as possible. Also, we're going to try to get guests from the group, like different members from the group. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys would like to be on the show, let us know. We prefer, some of the active members, or if you have a really good story to tell, we'd love to bring you on and hear what you got to say. And also, we're going to be bringing on special guests. I won't say any names, but we have a few people lined up that are going to be on the show. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, we appreciate everything you guys do. There's no Barbell Life without you guys. Thanks to my admin. You guys are the best. I love you guys. And until next time, we're out.